Hi, my name is Scott Reynolds. I'm the team leader of the Reynolds team here at Compass in Vero Beach, and I have a very, very special guest. It's regarding a very important topic and very popular topic, homeowners insurance. And Melissa Janest, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, Scott.
So insurance has been really, really big, as a real estate agent. We're closing a lot of property and dealing with rates. Well, first of all, we're dealing with interest rates and the cost of homes. And then you guys get involved with the insurance rates.
Very
and so it's
expensive.
just piling on. So I'm just going to jump into it. Give us a little bit, for those who may not have met you or haven't done an insurance policy with you, give us a little background about Melissa.
Well, I've been here since 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I moved from Rhode Island, and I've been in insurance for 18 years. Currently at the same office, Schneider and Associates, 13 years. And I've been an insurance agent. I love to help clients get the best rate, shop it around, and
you're an insurance, for someone that's from Ohio or another area, you're an insurance, a lot of what happens here, you're an insurance brokerage.
yes,
So-
we're an independent agency, so we shop it around.
Right. And so there's no cost, but there's you're going to get the best rates with going with you, and then you can shop it out to
Yes.
all the different carriers.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
Which was it was a lot of getting used to for me, because I moved down from Ohio, and for the most part it's State Farm or Farmers, and we didn't have to have the wind endorsement, which
Yes.
so with regular homeowners insurance it's $700 or $800 a year, but then whenever you add the hurricane or the wind endorsement, then it changes everything.
Yes, correct.
So, and that's the same here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have the basic policy, but then you have to get the wind endorsement, which really makes it what your insurance really is,
That is correct.
right?
Yes.
I didn't realize that till I started trying to break it all down.
Oh, yes.
So just jumping right into homeowners insurance, what is happening with all the premiums and why?
Well, they drastically took a huge rate increase, all the companies. So Citizens is our go-to company right now because that's all they can have, unfortunately. But now, starting in April, if you have flood insurance, if you're in a flood zone, you have to carry flood insurance with Citizens, whether you own the home outright or not.
So in order to get regular insurance, the carrier is requiring
Yes,
the flood
flood
policy if you're in a flood zone.
If you're in a flood zone, whether you paid cash for the home or not, you cannot no longer sign a flood waiver.
Wow, it was only the mortgage companies that
Yes.
were requiring it. Now it seems like the insurance.
Citizens only.
Okay.
I think they're trying to get rid of a lot of clients because they probably got about 2+ million clients.
And Citizens is ran by the
state of
it's
Florida.
state owned,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
So that's crazy.
Yes, and most policies have to go with Citizens because you got an older roof, older hot water heater, or
Older electrical.
older electrical. You're seasonal. You don't live in a gated or guarded community. You don't have monitoring, burglar, or fire alarms. So sometimes Citizens is your only resort.
Okay. So I know it's so it all sounds kind of gloom and doom. What is sounds like new construction is fairly.
New construction is the best way to go right now. Yes, you'll pay more for a house,
Yeah.
but you'll pay a lot less for insurance.
Right. Well, that's because there's almost no risk.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Yes.
It's all risk based.
You can buy a $2 million home on the ocean for $4,000 a year for insurance, and you pay that for a 1985 home.
If that was new construction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So if someone's trying, I know it's not easy to save money on the insurance, but if someone would like to try to save money and they're looking at their policy and all their coverages, what are some things that they could look at to save some money? If someone's trying to it's about cost.
Increase deductibles.
So standard is 2%.
2% hurricane, which is 2% of your dwelling amount.
And then
5% would be the nest, which is a lot higher for a hurricane deductible, but it'll save you about $400 a year on insurance.
And it's just
So-
if it's
It all depends. The wind mitigation, I mean, if you already have a new roof, you have your nails updated in the attic, your straps, there's not much more you can do.
And for those that don't know, the wind mitigation is when you're buying a home, the inspector has a specific report that they go through looking at the age of the roof, the decking, the thickness of the decking,
Yep,
the
nails.
nail pattern.
Yes.
And
The
the
shape of the
secondary,
roof.
the shape,
Yep, the
whether
shape
it's
of the
hip
roof
or
or
gable. So hip is like this.
Yeah. No. Hip is that's gable, like
That's
yours.
gable.
A hip is a pyramid on all four sides. So
Okay.
it comes up this way, and then it comes up this way.
You'll have to Google that. Hip versus gable roof. Maybe we throw an image in. So also the secondary
Water resistant. Not many homes have that unless they're putting a new roof on.
Okay.
Or a metal roof always has SWR.
So those are all, and it's not, and quite frankly, you shouldn't even shop for insurance until you have that.
Yes, that's right.
Because it gives you all your discount opportunities.
Yes. I have a lot of people call me and they're buying the home, but they never got the inspection done. It's an older home. Mm-hmm. You always want to spend that money, get that inspection done, because you're never going to know what you're paying.
And a wind mitigation report is, I may be a little rusty on it, is probably like $200 max.
Less than that.
150.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. So then that's what about I take a little bit of risk myself, and so like if someone, the default is replacement costs for all your contents.
Yes.
If you're willing to do cash value,
actual cash value,
then
that will save you quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Depends.
Right.
On the company. Some of it's only a couple hundred. Some of them it's like $800.
Right. Because sometimes the default is like the value is like really high. And,
yes.
And so
it's always 25% of your coverage A for your
for the dwelling
for the contents. Can't go any lower than that.
So that's an opportunity with some carriers.
Yes. All carriers you can remove replacement costs.
Okay.
But it all depends. It might not be too much.
And pretty much when you do cash value, it's like almost nothing.
Well, no, because it all depends on how old your furniture is. You save your receipts.
Okay.
Or pictures. So if you got all new furniture, you don't have to go with replacement costs because it's only going to depreciate 1 year maybe. That's it.
Someone told me that, and I did this on my old home, I probably need to do it on the new home, is in case you did have a total disaster, that it's a good idea to just video your house.
Absolutely.
Because like when the chips are all down, you forget about
what
a lot
you
of
have.
detail.
That's right.
You get the big pieces. I got a bed and I got a sofa.
Yes.
But you forget a lot of details.
Yes, correct.
And it also serves as proof.
Yeah, and pictures. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Video or pictures.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I just wrote down some questions. And what would you say if someone's like, the mortgage company is requiring the coverage, and they're willing to take a lot of risk. Like they're like, hey, I do need a policy for a big disaster, but I'm willing to take some risk and is there anything else to save money on coverages?
No, just the deductibles. Some people can remove contents entirely.
Okay.
And then once they close, they can put it back on. It's just for closing purposes.
And I just got a random question that probably most people don't know. When you look to insure a property, you're not insuring the land.
No, not at all.
So it's really because you can't destroy the land.
The house itself. That's right.
It's the improvement.
Yes.
So
if somebody calls me and I ask them how much they're paying for the house, I go and look at the property, see how much the property is worth, and then I minus that from my replacement costs.
Okay.
But sometimes they're getting a good deal, and I got to insure the home for more than what they're paying for it.
Because the cost to rebuild would be more.
Is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is something that this is kind of a hot subject. You're thinking about selling your house, or you're selling your house, and you have an older roof. So this would be a tag team. What are some options a seller may consider before selling their home?
Putting a new roof on, or they're going to have to probably wheel and deal with the client, the new buyer with the roof.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get insurance on an older roof right now. You always have to have at least 3 to 5 years life expectancy on all roofs.
And that is determined by the,
Company.
like a home inspector will
Yes.
have to certify that it has
That's
5
right.
years of life expectancy.
That's
or something.
right. That's on the 4-point inspection
Okay.
for older homes.
All right. Hey, so I'm trying to get the lingo here. So 4-point covers like,
The roof, hot water heater, AC, plumbing, and electric.
and those are needed on homes from,
30 years and older.
okay.
So 30 years and older, you have to have a 4-point.
So just order the 4-point if
Yes.
you got it. Okay.
Now, Citizens requires it on 20 years of age now.
Okay.
So it
The
just all depends.
so if someone is maybe didn't have the funds to buy a roof that's $20,000 or more, I understand you also have a creative solution where if the buyer if there is a contract on a new roof and a deposit paid, the insurance, there's a Citizens, I think it is. Citizens will give you the insurance as long as that roof is actually replaced.
Within 30 days. Has to be within 30 days or else they won't do it.
And then, of course, they come out and inspect it.
Well, no, we got to show them proof that the roof is put on. They won't come and inspect it after.
Oh, like the permit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And pictures. They want pictures to make sure.
But that's a nice solution because if it is it affects the value of the house no matter what, and then the makes it where you can get insurance, and if the house is priced competitively, it can make it where maybe the seller doesn't have to pay much or any.
Yes.
It just provides, it's totally negotiable where the two parties can figure out the money.
Yes.
And then, but still, the buyer can still get insurance.
Yes.
Which leads into the next question. A seller that has an insurance premium for $3,000, and then the next buyer that comes in, what's the likelihood of getting that premium?
They will never get that premium because they've been grandfathered into them rates. So a newcomer is just new right off.
It's just reevaluated.
Everything.
So it's like basically current market of the insurance world.
Because a lot of times the current owner is underinsured than what I got to insure the new owner for. Because they always change coverages and everything like that.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that happens a lot. Or their wind mitigation is different. So I had one buyer that had clips, and then the new buyer went and did a wind mitigation, and they have toenails. So I don't know how it went from clips to toenails. So the current owner must have got a credit that they never deserved, and now the new buyer is not getting anything.
It's getting rated properly.
Yes.
So
Which
clips
is
must
$1,000 more of a premium if you don't have clips or straps and you have toenails.
Well, what are toenails?
They just classify it as toenails. So if you have a strip or a clip, a strap or a clip that don't have 3 nails, they got to consider it as a toenail, and that's in the wind mitigation.
So it's like the
report.
nail getting, I guess
They don't have enough nails, so they don't get the credit.
Okay,
If
so
you ever have a toenail on the report, you're not getting no credit for that.
Okay.
That strap.
And then a clip.
It's the same thing.
Okay,
Clip
it
has
just
3
has the
nails.
3 nails.
Strap has 3 nails. They're pretty much the same credit. A clip is easier to install, but a lot of the builders say clips are for frame homes. They normally have clips with frame, straps with masonry homes.
You know a little bit more about construction than you thought
you'd
be signing up for as an insurance.
Yeah, I know it all. Now I know how to tell a house if it's frame or masonry. Yeah.
And hip
learned
and
a lot.
gable are hip and gable tricks me up too.
Only if it's an older home.
Yeah.
Like your home, when you're building, it don't matter what it is. But an older home, if it's gable, it's like an $800 difference in a premium.
Okay.
Than hip.
Okay.
Yes.
That's wow.
That's a big thing. As your home gets older, gradually, maybe 20, 30 years from now, it might change. But other than that, it don't change from a hip to gable right now.
So we're rated, so we have a gabled roof, so we would be rated the same as a hip because it's new construction.
Well, it'll be maybe
similar.
a $20, $30 difference.
Okay.
That's it. But if it was an older home, it would be a big difference.
Okay.
Yes.
And then another question is, should a homeowner shop their insurance annually?
Everybody should shop their insurance
Okay.
annually, all the time, unless it only goes up $100, $150. Then don't bother. But the insurance rates right now are going up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 more at the renewal.
So what I always talk to buyers that, especially if they escrow their insurance, because you can escrow your taxes and insurance. Even though the bill, you get a copy of the bill, but the mortgage company pays the premium. And whenever the premium goes up, the mortgage company gets the new premium, and your monthly payment can adjust greatly, not only for the new insurance, but also for reserves and to rebuild that escrow account. So all the notices are sent out like 60 days, 90 days? 60 days
Roughly.
in advance.
Roughly 45 to 60, depending on the company.
But it's very common to just think, hey, the mortgage company's paying this. Actually, you're paying it. You're paying it through your monthly payments and apportions toward your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. So I would just press upon buyers to use that opportunity to call your insurance broker and say, hey, I just got this notice. Is there any adjustments that I can do, or another firm? Sometimes there's new carriers that are hungry for business.
Yes. And when somebody replaces their roof, they should always let their insurance carrier know. We got a lot of people that don't. Come 3 years down the line, oh, I replaced my roof. Well, why didn't you tell me that? You could have got a credit 3 years ago. Now I can only do it now. Oh, I didn't know that. So yes, when you replace something in your house, let your insurance company know.
And if you get a new roof, do you need a new wind mitt, or will you get the nails?
It all depends. You should, because you're probably going to get the longer nail credit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you're shopping for a roof, find out the cost difference in that secondary water barrier.
Yes.
And then if they have your whole roof off, find out what the cost would be to add strapping. Because there's a discount on the straps.
Straps or clips, they're pretty much the same, but they got to have 3 nails, and a lot of them don't.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
And if you don't tell the roofer before, they won't do it.
Right, and it's good to just get the ask those questions when they're bidding on the roof, because it does vary. Some may not be that much money, but it could save you a lot of money over a life of a roof. So. And then I had one of the last questions is let's talk about State Farm, Allstate, Farmers. A lot of people move from Middle America or up north where you just got the big carriers. They don't know about the brokers and how all the different carriers that are down here. All the times I've ever had a client, like I'll have a client from New York and they're like, hey, I use Farmers. I've used them for 20 years.
All the time.
I'm using Farmers. And then they get the insurance quote and it's like totally bananas.
Yes.
And then they may not buy a home, or they just clouds their whole
USAA,
value.
they do that too.
Yeah.
And USAA is very expensive.
Yeah, the USAA is a whole different conversation. It's like so hard. I shouldn't say it like this, but it's so hard to extract a USAA client from the loyalty that the USAA clients have, and if you're one, you know what I mean. The loyalty that they have to that brand is phenomenal.
Yes.
But in Florida, they're not the most progressive. They're not the most. They basically don't want to insure, and if they do,
not
they're
homes
doing
anyways, just autos. But I had one person that was paying $6,000 a year with USAA, and I got them down to $2,000, and it took them almost 2 years to switch to me. They still want to pay the $6,000 premium because they're very loyal to USAA.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same on the mortgage side too. I've had someone that they're approved through USAA, and the mortgage terms and everything was not superior. We had superior alternatives, but that's what they want to do, and that's
And Farmers, I don't think they even do homeowners in Florida.
Okay.
Just auto insurance, and we do that.
Okay.
Same thing with Allstate. We do Allstate, but they don't really have great rates.
Okay.
It's hard. I've never even wrote an Allstate policy. 13 years at the agency, never wrote one.
So you do all the personal lines of insurance as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Auto.
Home, boat, umbrella,
Okay.
RV,
Nice.
anything to do it. I'm licensed for commercial, but we don't do that in the agency. That's in our Gainesville office.
Okay.
That does the commercial.
So, just in kind of closing, what are anything that you think that a buyer or even just a homeowner regarding homeowners insurance? Anything? Do you think the legislation is going to change or anything that?
I hope so, because there's a lot of people that are going without insurance right now, especially all the elderly people that can't even afford it. It's either eat or pay your insurance. So a lot of people are canceling their insurance or going ex-wind, which is no hurricane insurance, which is only like $300 a year.
They're getting just a basic fire
Fire,
coverage.
liability, water damage, theft, just no hurricanes or tornadoes. You can go that route too. That's better than no insurance.
Yeah. I had a couple people that I know, even here on the beach side, they're like, I got rid of my insurance just because they couldn't afford it.
That's right.
And they've been in their home, 30
40
years. Yeah.
Yes.
And so they own it and they just can't afford the premium.
Yeah. So they do. They self-insure.
So I really hope there's some legislation or something.
I hope so, especially for all these people.
I guess one other point, I think a lot of people think that the insurance premiums are really, really high only because of hurricanes. And I heard, and I wanted to ask you, it's really a lot of fraud.
Too.
That is, all the
With the
attorneys
roofers.
and
Yeah, people going around telling you need a roof and you really don't, but they put a claim in. And a lot of people get that roof paid. Mm-hmm. But that's what's going on right now. Or they get denied and then they have to replace that roof. Even though you get denied on a claim, you had roof damage, you still have to replace your roof within 1 year.
Wow.
Yes.
So nothing super positive about the current situation.
It's hard.
So the point of this podcast I really wanted is like getting super close with your agent, getting super close with your insurance agent, and understanding how to maneuver through it, because you can't, some people just need to buy a home or they need to sell a home,
Yes.
For other reasons besides just like a luxury,
Yes.
So knowing how to navigate through that is super important. Well, I appreciate you making it out here. I know you're super busy.
No, that's okay. Thursdays is my early day.
So we will put all of your contact information in the bottom of the video so that if you have any questions and you want to run something, Melissa is phenomenal. I've used you for as long as I can remember, and we've got a lot of different properties over time, and the customer service is really what's been really helpful in navigating through needs and wants. So thank you.
Oh,
thank
you. Appreciate it.
Please stay tuned for some important information regarding Shutter Credit.
So a question that came up was wind mitigation, or I'm sorry, wind credits, shutters,
Yes, shutters.
So it's
Some shutters, if you're on the ocean, that's big credit. If you're in Sebastian or you're in mainland, it's not much of a credit. But also, you got to have your skylights done, and you cannot have no windows on your garage door unless they are impact rated. It's an all or nothing credit.
I've had somebody that has had all impact rated glass, and they had a garage with the little plastic windows.
Yes.
And
They will not get no shutter credit.
So they had to get they had an option of getting a solid door.
Yes.
Or replacing those plastic windows with the impact windows, which
Yes.
means you got to get a new door.
Pretty much.
That's
right.
And then the older doors that don't have that brace,
They don't
have the
gauge. They don't care about the brace
anymore. Okay.
Nope, you don't even have to have a brace.
Because the why behind it all is if you have any opening that is not to the same level, then you could have everything covered, and then this opening not covered, and ruin the whole house.
Even if you have a door with a glass window, that has to be covered too, the whole door, top to bottom.
So, and then the other common one is where they have all the nice shutters and everything, and then they have the front door with a side light.
Yes,
the little side
that
light
has to be covered too.
Yeah. So.
Yes, and all shutters do not meet Miami-Dade approved code. So don't just go out and buy any shutter. You have to buy Miami-Dade approved, or else you're not going to get any credits.
Right. So we were on the page of those credits, wind mitigation, and then we'll just throw in the hip and gable on the image, and then I think that's the biggest
Yes.
the biggest pieces for
Yes.
sure. Okay, great.
Always talk to your agent.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the key.